Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our viewers across the globe. First of all, let me thank you for joining us for Binance Talks, Charity and Blockchain for Good, the third session in our Binance Talks series. Every month, we discuss one of blockchain's most pressing topics with some of the top experts in the industry, and today is no exception. My name is Logan Ross. I'm a staff writer and cryptocurrency vertical manager at Benzinga, and I'll be your host for this session. Thank you guys so much for joining me from across the world. Also joining us today is a huge lineup of some of the most incredible guest speakers working in the industry today. We're going to be talking about three different sessions during today's episode. We're going to be first discussing enabling innovative blockchain-based social solutions. We'll have Kenneth Cow from Mercy Corp's Ventures Web3 lead, head of pilots, along with Binance Charity's Deputy Director Elizabeth Lee, and Earthu S., Atlantis DA co-founder and CEO. Next on the agenda, we'll be taking a look at using blockchain as a tool for financial inclusion with Elizabeth Lee in a one-on-one conversation. And for our final discussion, we'll be talking about tech services, bringing the charity sector into the Web3 world. We're excited to have Yannick No, UNICEF Luxembourg's Innovative Finance Officer, and Aze Mitha, the UNDP Global Lead of Digital Finance and the SDGs. In addition to these incredible sessions, we are going to have an incredible giveaway. So make sure you're paying attention to today's episode to take advantage of all of these amazing prizes. So first of all, we have a giveaway that is based on Twitter. And by meeting the certain criteria, you will be able to win a share of $1,000 in crypto. So there are three simple steps you need to be a participant in this challenge. First is retweet the linked tweet in our QR code. Of course, make sure you're watching the stream and reply to the tweet with an in-depth learning from today's show. So make sure you're taking notes, make sure you're paying attention, and reply to the tweet with your notes, and that will qualify you, as well as retweeting, that will qualify you to win a share of the $1,000 in crypto. In addition to this $1,000, we'll be giving away a crypto box valued at $4,000 US with a quiz from Binance Charity after our panels. For this one, please note that you'll need to be watching on Binance Live and logged into your Binance account to participate. Also, Binance Charity will donate up to $3,000 worth of free meals, with one meal provided for every 10 viewers. That's right. Share this with your friends. Get as many viewers on the stream as you can, and Binance Charity will be donating free meals. You can do something good today by just sharing this stream, so make sure you do that. Since 2019, with Binance's partner Tech Plus Love, a non-governmental organization, Binance Charity has helped to provide meals for over 21,000 children, teachers, and their families. And today is no exception to that. Let's make sure we get those numbers up. All right, with our giveaways covered, let's take a look at the bigger picture surrounding charity and blockchain and how that's used for good in today's landscape. So, as I'm sure you already know, blockchain's potential is evident when it comes to charity. But in what other areas can we look forward to improvements, and where can we see the good working in action now? We'll answer these questions and more in our upcoming fireside chats and panel discussions. You'll soon hear how blockchain technology is being used to improve transparency, reduce fees, and increase the speed at which people in need are able to receive urgent aid. To demonstrate these, we'll run through a selection of case studies with our guests that truly show blockchain's full potential for charity and social good. We're excited then to cover a wide range of topics and talking points, including the current challenges charity work faces in its day-to-day operations, including low-level trust of the public, the low-level trust the public had in charity and charitable organizations, allegations of mismanagement. All this can be solved by using a public auditable blockchain. We also see we're going to be talking about some of the key benefits that blockchain brings towards tackling these present problems. Higher speed transactions, lower cost transactions, higher visibility, more auditable by the public, and more accountability, across the sector, from nonprofit spending to the middleman transactions and the supply chains involved, as well as blockchain's ability to transcend borders, provide financial services to the under or completely unbanked and vulnerable communities around the world. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today on this session. It's really important that these topics we're talking about today. And once again, I just want to remind you that Binance Charity will be donating up to $3,000 worth of free meals, one meal provided for every 10 viewers. So make sure to share this with your friends and family to do something for the community. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into our first session. First up, we're going to be taking a look at enabling innovative blockchain-based social solutions. We're fortunate enough to have a great selection of real-world examples we can examine and discuss. Today, across the world, communities in need benefit from blockchain implementations in the charity. Here to discuss the topic today are Mercy Corp Ventures Web3 lead and head of pilots, Kenneth Kao, Binance Charity's Deputy Director, Elizabeth Lee, and Atlantis DA co-founder and CEO, Erthu S. Let's welcome them to Binance Talks and allow them to introduce themselves. All right, Elizabeth, Kenneth, Erthu, welcome to Binance Talks, Charity for Blockchain and Good. Kenneth, would you like to kick us off with a short introduction of yourself, please?
Yeah, happy to. Thanks for having us here. I'm Kenneth Ko. I'm the Web3 lead at Mercy Corp Ventures. We're an impact investing firm that's based out of Mercy Corp, the global humanitarian organization.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Look forward to diving into today's topics with you. Erthu, how about you?
Hey everyone, I'm Ritu. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Atlantis, and I've been working with Mercy Corp for a while now. Here to talk about our experience.
Awesome, Erthu. Thank you. And Elizabeth.
Thank you, Logan, and nice to meet you, everyone. I'm Elizabeth, the Deputy Director of Binance Charity. As everyone knows, we are the philanthropic arm of Binance, and our mission is to utilize the blockchain technology and to serve a broader goal for financial inclusion and to advance the Web3 education.
Fantastic. All right, guys, let's get right into today's topic. So my first question is for Kenneth. Could you first of all introduce us briefly to Mercy Corp Venture Program and how it uses blockchain in its solutions?
Yeah, happy to. So as mentioned, we are the impact investing arm and the innovation technology lab of Mercy Corp, which is a global humanitarian organization providing aid and relief in over 40 countries around the world. And so as the impact investment arm, we invest in and deploy innovative tech solutions to address the most intractable problems in emerging markets, such as climate change and access to financial services. And as a team of crypto natives, we had heard lots of talks around the potential of crypto for emerging markets, but there was always very little measurable insights or real world use cases. And so this was, a few years back, but there was, and there still is, quite a bit of a hype gap. And so what we've been trying to do is run different use cases, demonstrate a body of knowledge, and build up the body of evidence around how crypto can be used for good in the wider ecosystem. And so we've been actively working across different crypto use cases for the past 3 years now. We've invested in 6 crypto native startups, and we've also launched 12 pilots for underserved users in emerging markets. And so recently, we just closed our second Crypto for Good fund. So this year we received over 200 applications from 50 different countries around the world. The priority use cases that we've been looking for include access to credit for underbanked users, transparent supply chains, humanitarian aid, nature-based solutions for climate resilience, and then crypto wallets for emerging market users. And so last year was the first Crypto for Good fund. We received about 180 applications from 51 countries. And the pilots that we ran, or that we at least launched last year, they include a variety of use cases such as DeFi lending in Kenya, tokenizing government bonds to act as savings instruments in Cameroon, Web3 carbon credit issuance in Indonesia, and a decentralized water economy in India with Atlantis DAO that Ritu can tell you much more about.
Earthy, why don't you dive into that for us?
Hey, thanks for that, Ken. And yeah, just to give you a little bit of context, I've been in the social impact space for the last 6 years. And we started Atlantis to incorporate on-ground social impact tooling with Web3 solution stack. And it's been eye-opening in terms of what we have been able to achieve. To give you some context, Atlantis is a peer-to-peer impact network, and our focus is to help impact projects on ground, capture verifiable impact data, and incentivize them for the same. And with regards to what we are doing with Mercy Corp, we are focusing specifically on water security as a problem. And the solution that we're building is a blockchain-based solution. We are coming up with a decentralized water economy, like Ken was mentioning. And such a network brings about not just water security, but we are also seeing a plethora of green jobs coming up from it. We are currently active in 8 villages in the Western Ghats in South India. And we are right now, I think, in phase 2, where we've already looked at addressing not just water baseline stats, where we understand what kind of water problems are there in a region, but we are also implementing different kind of green jobs around water. And yeah, it's exciting and it's progressing as we planned.
That's amazing. And now, Elizabeth, could you talk about Binance Charity's collaborative work with Mercy Corps and how you guys have worked to improve the situation on the ground by implementing blockchain solutions?
Yes, of course. So our collaboration with Mercy Corp starting at 2019, where we identified the issue as refugees when they come to a new country, it's very hard for them to get formal financial services because they don't have a legit ID in the new country. So this is what's happened for the Sudanese refugees coming to Uganda, where Mercy Corps act as our partner on the ground. We collaborate thinking, why don't we use a blockchain-based wallet to enable refugees to receive the donations, like a monthly allowance for them to get assistance and pass the difficult times. So at that time, we're using the Trust Wallet, which is a Web3 decentralized wallet where every refugees can access them through a mobile phone, and then. So through this program, we are helping 2,200 refugees in this situation, and they will receive one time and also some of that monthly allowance from us through the Trust Wallet. And here you might ask, then when people receive the crypto, how do they spend it? Because people need to purchase things so it can be useful. And in this case, because we are locating our project as in a refugee camp, and at the camp we're holding a market day where we bring all the vendors, which they will sell different things like the food, water, and some agricultural tools or LED lights. And in the market day, all the vendors, they're also be equipped with a Trust Wallet, or there's some of them using a Binance Wallet. And people can just use their phone to scan the QR code and pay for the things they need. I think one of the things is all of the transactions is based on crypto, so it's more transparent. After all the projects, we're able to do the auditing. And then it's also, very inclusive because we don't need the refugees, to help them get an ID and to use. It's very low barrier for them. But also in the meantime, education is very important. We hold workshops to teach people how to use the mobile wallet, how to use the Trust Wallet, and doing the transactions. But after all, it is a very successful pilot in Uganda, and we hope to scale to other place with the ventures team in the future.
Wow, that's really an incredible initiative, and it sounds like something that could really catch on and start to curate some organic growth in the space and using the technology. That's amazing. Ken, could you talk to a few more of those examples you were mentioning earlier? Could you dive in a little bit deeper and talk about some of the impacts that we're seeing?
Yeah, I'd be very happy to do so. So we've run 12 blockchain projects over the past 3 years. And so different use cases that we've touched on. So one is humanitarian aid for Venezuelan refugees in Colombia. So there we found, because in Venezuela there's hyperinflation and many people were leaving because of the economic and political situation there. So many of them were fleeing to Colombia, but they wanted to send money back home to their loved ones. And so we were giving them, the Mercy Corps Colombia team was providing humanitarian aid, but then we were also providing a stable coin on top that was denominated in US dollars in a digital wallet that had local off-ramps in Venezuela. And by doing that, we found that 90% of the people were actually sending that money back home directly. And so now you have a currency hedge, you have inflation protection, and you also just have more money going back into the local economy for people who are needing financial assistance. We've run DeFi lending programs in Kenya. So with smallholder farmers, we ran a pilot with about 100 in just outside of Nairobi, and 96% of them were accessing credit for the first time in their lives. And we were doing this by by connecting them to a DeFi liquidity pool, and we were able to get them access to fair credit. The APR was about 8%. So you're comparing that to comparable products that are double, triple that easily. And just giving people access to products that they otherwise just have not been able to. And more than half of the users were using that for productive purposes. They were investing in their farms. They were buying different equipment that they needed, and they were also putting money towards school fees for their children. So it became a very productive and virtuous use of the money. We've been launching savings initiatives in Rwanda and Cameroon. In Cameroon, we're doing something that is tokenizing government bonds. And so in Cameroon, the minimum purchase price for a savings product like a government bond is about $2,000. It's 1 million West African francs or Central African francs, same currency. And that, of course, is a very high barrier to entry for for the average person. And so what the partner that we're working with there is tokenizing these bonds and fractionalizing them, and then making them available at 1/1000th of that price, so $2. So the average person can now access this as a high yielding savings product, and it's all through by tokenizing, putting it on blockchain so that there's transparency and you know where it's at. And the last one that I'll mention is that we've been working with in Kenya with smallholder farmers, and we're putting parametric crop insurance policies into smart contracts. And so in sub-Saharan Africa, about 3% of farmers are buying crop insurance. Compare that to, say, the US, where it's about 90% plus. The reason why only 3% are buying is because historically the product has not been right fit. It's been too slow, not transparent, and very low payouts. And so by incorporating smart contracts and oracles, we've been able to automate a lot of this process and therefore reduce costs, and it also increase transparency for farmers. So payout times have reduced by 97%. So the industry average is 45 days historically, and now it's less than 24 hours. The pilot increased the coverage amount by 27%, meaning that if your policy is triggered, you're going to get a much higher payout. 70% of farmers were asking for data on the status of their policy. So now they actually had transparency and a way to do this. And it was mostly appreciated by women because women farmers historically had a harder time getting feedback on the status of their policy, knowing when they were going to get paid out. And now because this was a digital touchless way of getting that information, it became it's a less confrontational way for them to get that data, and also just at your fingertips. So it was a feature greatly appreciated by women farmers particularly, and most importantly, 40% of farmers reported that this smart contract product improved their quality of life. And so based on all of this, now the insurance partner that we're working with is migrating all of their parametric insurance products to blockchain. So those are just a few examples that we've been working on for the past few years.
Those are incredible. Erthu, is there anything you want to add to any of those stories?
Yeah, actually, just adding on to what Ken was saying, there are a bunch of upcoming DeFi projects as well, mainly looking at incorporating blockchain and DMRV. For folks who don't know what that is, that's measuring, recording, and verifying all the claims that's made. And this really helps when it's put on chain because you bring in the whole transparency angle to it. And just to give a few shout outs to projects like Impact Network, Cello, Web3 Beach. There are a bunch of refi projects. And if I look at the numbers, I think in 2020, there were like 25 projects. And in 2023, we have over 200 projects working in social impact using Web3 tools. That's very encouraging. And another interesting use case that we have from our side is Atlantis is also working with the Earthquake Relief Fund in Turkey, Anchor Relief Fund, and they have close to $300,000 to be deployed. And the problem that they're facing is this long stretched out due diligence and paying out based on milestones. So using our solution, we are able to help deploy these funds and also track all these verifiable data, right? Though we claim that there's going to be a lot of transparency, how can we bring these verifiable data points on chain? That's very crucial as we accelerate this entire system using transparency at the base. And it looks pretty positive in terms of like implementing these blockchain-based solutions.
Amazing. Elizabeth, I know you worked on that earthquake project as well. Could you speak to Binance Charity Foundation's involvement?
Yeah, sure. So actually, after the collaboration since 2019, I think we also have several partnerships with Mercy Corps. One of that is for the Crypto for Good Fund. Ken just mentioned, we've also supported Mercy Corp Ventures of a 1 million donation. And to be invested in 5 startups in emerging markets that would focus on financial inclusion using blockchain and Web3 technologies. We're very excited, to see what the 5 startups would turn out, and we'll share more, the innovative solutions soon. And also recently, the earthquake happened in Turkey and Syria. We've also donated 100K to Mercy Corps on the emergency relief at the Syria border. So this is, I think, exactly demonstrate, when the earthquake happened, how we can mobilize the community to donate crypto, from all over the world. People does not need to, donate to a specific country because, they need a specific wallet in that country. But for the crypto, people can donate from everywhere to us very quickly, and we're able to allocate the crypto donation to Mercy Corps. This is also a very effective way, on the fundraising side, how the global crypto community contribute to the emergency relief.
That's amazing. And we're getting close to time, unfortunately. I'd love to just hear a final thought from each of you. What are the biggest problems preventing blockchain solutions from really making a bigger impact in the spaces each of you are working on? We'll start with you, Ken, and then Erthu, and then Elizabeth.
Yeah, and so, sorry, before I answer that, I just want to say that I think the work that Binance is doing, Binance has done a great job rallying critical support from the community to support Mercy Corps and the Turkish Red Crescent to meet the most urgent needs of these earthquake-affected households. And so just a bit more on that, like Mercy Corps is delivering food, water, shelter support, as well as cash transfers to the different communities on their way to recovery. So we're incredibly grateful for that support and the partnership of Binance Charity, and the Binance community. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, Logan, to your question around, I guess, like, how do we increase adoption? I think there's a few areas that I think through, like, obviously, like, the big ones are like around education and like how do you make like products user friendly. There's always a piece around like building appropriate ramps. I think having like effective ramps in every country is always like, it's always kind of the chicken and egg problem, right? Like, how do you make sure you have ramps in these countries? Because if you don't have ramps, then you won't have use cases, but then use cases are waiting on ramps and vice versa. And I think things like Binance P2P is actually like making a huge dent in different African markets, and you see it a lot in Asia as well. I think from the Crypto for Good Fund, we see a lot of people building on Binance specifically for that reason. And I think the last one that I would touch on is, I think, unfortunately, for better or worse, the reason why you're not seeing that many impactful use cases is because the funding environment is still not there to support it, right? Like, I think people are still chasing after like play to earn Ponzi schemes, and we're not investing in the ones like the program, like the projects and the initiatives that are actually trying to build a better planet and for better society. And I think there needs to be a much larger push in that direction, and maybe more of a rallying around that community. And I'm grateful to have this this forum and to be with like-minded individuals here, because I think there's just so much that can be done and so much that needs to be done urgently.
I think Ken did touch upon the main problems that is there. I think I would double click on the whole off-ramping being a big issue, especially in the global south. Apart from that, I think we are also get to see a lot of, again, MRV solutions coming on chain, because this is very critical for the claims that we make in terms of impact, like how the work's been done, how did you measure these impact. Those particular pieces are being built out right now. And in the next few years, we'll see a lot of these methodologies that currently are off-chain coming on-chain. We have some of the biggest players in the voluntary carbon market moving on-chain, like Gold Standard, who's already building out their on-chain credit system. So that's one bottleneck for sure in the impact sector specifically. And yeah, looking at the whole larger space, I think having more user-friendly products really help, and having more adoption in terms of having off-ramp solutions will definitely help. So yeah, that's the bunch from my side as well.
So for me, when talk about specifically on the execution of all of those cash assistance projects, so first of all, infrastructure is the thing that is needed, because to enable all of the things we're talking about, we need to make our beneficiaries, they have a stable network, and also they have access to the mobile phones. And even in the refugee camps we worked in Uganda, part of the beneficiaries were supporting them with mobile phones. But we're saying there's more and more adoption on the infrastructure side, and also mobile phone penetration. So I guess these things would get better. And the second, we've also touched a little about is on the education, because even look at it, ourselves in the developed market, the education to Web3 and blockchain is not that prevalent. Not mentioned to we're serving the people, really on the underprivileged communities, and so financial literacy and the knowledge transfer. All the education is very, very important, and we're also supporting, more women, and also to get into the space, and to provide free education access to everyone.
Amazing. Thank you all so much, Elizabeth. We're about to dive into that in our next session. But Kenneth and Earthu, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. I know they were incredibly valuable to the community out there. But yeah, let's focus in on what we were just talking about, Elizabeth. So this session is a one-on-one, and the focus is using blockchain as a tool for financial inclusion. As I'm sure the audience knows, one of blockchain's most powerful aspects is its ability to improve financial inclusion. Not everyone worldwide has access to the traditional financial system that many of us are used to, and crypto can quickly fill this gap for billions of people who are in need. Elizabeth, let's start from a high level. Where do things stand today? What are some of the most pressing problems and issues, and where do you see blockchain innovating solutions?
Great, thank you for a very great question, Logan. So first of all, talking about financial inclusion is a very academic word, but what it exactly means for worldwide, according to a World Bank stats, 1.7 billion people all over the world doesn't have is unbanked or underbanked. Which means they are usually using a informal or unregulated ways to send money, to store the money, and they are not banked because of first, maybe for refugees, they don't have a valid ID in a new country, or it's because of the high fees that they couldn't afford to have a bank account. And what is the consequence for that? As we all know, if we have the financial access, it allows us to lend money, to borrow money, and also there's a series of the financial tools that we're be able to use. So the first step of the financial inclusion is to ensure everyone at least have a transaction account. So this is the basic for them to access all the the further services that the financial tools can bring to them. In some of our the projects, like we mentioned, to serving the South Sudanese refugees, imagine the people coming to a new country and they're not able to utilize any kind of the formal financial services. And if we, for us, if we use a Web3 wallet, we'll be able to know for a wallet, if we have a mobile phone and you can download an app, for example, like Trust Wallet, all I need is to remember the private key. And then I'll be able to have the wallet, and I'm able to, receive the funds, send the funds, and also make the payment, and also remittance worldwide. So I would say, the Web3 wallets, this is disruptively, giving all kinds of people, especially for underprivileged population, the access to be included in a financial system. Not to mention, compared to the traditional, kind of the payment sector, when we are doing our cash assistance programs to the refugees, usually we need to send money, across border. For example, we're fundraising in the U.S., or our money is usually for nonprofits. It's fundraised in the developed countries. And how do we move the funds from U.S. or U.K. to a small country like developing countries like Uganda? You need to do the cross-border movements from one bank account to another bank account. It costs you maybe $20, $30, and then when you have to distribute this the total funds to specific individual wallets, you also need to create your own financial service account, and also there's fees happen transactioning to the individual wallets. If we're now creating our own system for this kind of cash assistance distribution, and for the payments, say directly from Binance Charity to one and the beneficiary, the transaction cost on the BNB chain is approximately 10 cents for now. So this is greatly reduce the transaction fees across border, and also the time. Time is so important, when it comes to any disaster relief or any emergent crisis, and doing transactions on the blockchain, the funds can arrive at the wallets in seconds, right? So this has also greatly reduced the time. Another advantage is transparency. Because we heard a lot of scandals, or in different circumstances, how funds might be misused, in international development, in the humanitarian aid. However, when we're moving funds on the blockchain, as all of them is recorded on the chain. And for Binance Charity, whenever we do this project, we always publicize our wallet address online, so everyone can see how much money we actually received and how much we allocated. Everything is on the chain, and any can be reviewed by public anytime. And it also is a very powerful way for when we're engaging auditors to look at it. Everything is on the chain. You can check. There's no way to hide any misconduct. So I would say the three elements, is a great way that blockchain is addressing the traditional cash assistance. And we hope to collaborate with more nonprofits to scale the solutions all over the world.
Yeah, I think it's very evident that the on-chain ecosystem and on-chain accounts are clearly so superior to solve all of these pressing issues. But one thing remains is, how do people move their funds on chain? How do they move their value on and off chain for when they earn it, maybe from their job, and then when they need to spend it? So let's dive into the ramps a little bit. What is the current approach to solving this problem of onboarding and offboarding from the blockchain?
Thanks, Logan. That's another great question. I can start with an example that what we did for the Ukraine, the emergency relief. So last year, exactly, I think this time we launched the Ukraine refugee card. So this is a great example that how we build a off-ramp solution, for the beneficiaries we aid, that they are able to use money, just to buy a Binance card. So in this project, we're able to donate directly from the Binance Charities wallet. And we have a partner on the ground helping us to onboard eligible refugees. So we create a survey that everyone can apply for the funds that charity is allocated to the program, which we will support 15,000 people. And then for all the people, for those refugees, they escape from Ukraine to other European countries. They're able to, when they still same situation, when they come to a new country, it's still very, hard for them to maybe get formal, financial services. But I know also a lot of countries are making it more easier, like Poland, to give, refugee bank accounts more easily. But overall, this problem still exists, and we have this program that our nonprofit partners on the ground go to the shelters directly and asking people if you are in need and you would like to receive the assistance from Binance Charity, you can create a crypto wallet, and we're able to send you the donations in crypto. So in this case, we've have 15 beneficiaries onboarded, and they all have a crypto wallet. We send the crypto in bulk, to these 15,000 beneficiaries for 200 BUSD for a month and for 3 months constantly. What we're also thinking is, how we can make beneficiaries to spend the money more easily. And at that time, we have Binance Card, but it's not designed for refugees, and it's not specific for this type of people. So we had a discussion with our partner, and we decided to really collaborate together to make something work. That's how the refugee card, come to the ground. So it's a specific card really designed to the refugees that when they are abroad, they're able to use it. And in this case, it's a Visa card. When people receive it, they can either add it to Google Pay, so it's a virtual card. People can just go to any place that accepts Google Pay, and they can use the crypto we donate to them directly. Or if you want to order a physical card, people can also put in their address, and we will mail the Binance card to them. So I think this is a great solution, how we solve the off-ramp, the issue for people who want to spend the crypto. And in case of the on-ramp, this is still a very good, because people, there's a lot of like immigrants in the world, and they want, maybe they're earning in cash, and they want to send the money back home in a cheaper and also efficient way. So actually, Binance has also launched a gift card where, this is not, in every country, but I know in some of the countries we have the vendors, the shops, and they are already selling this gift card. So people can purchase the gift card that will be topped up to the Binance account, and then they're able to send the crypto to their relatives or families. So the on-ramp, this on-ramp, is for the more of a using the cash. I'm not saying, definitely you can still purchase crypto using your bank account, but just talking about people who don't even have a bank account, we still have the gift card options for them. And in the meantime, for Binance Pay is also a very powerful tool. If you go to some of the merchant vendors, and also the P2P, if they are available in your city as a physical location, then you're able to just on-ramp to doing the cash to crypto.
It sounds like really amazing work that you're doing, Elizabeth. I want to thank you personally for it, and also for your time and sharing your insights with us and the broader community today. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I'm wondering if you have any final thoughts to close us out here with.
Yeah, maybe I'm happy to share maybe another example. Oh, but before that, I want to say, for the refugee card, we actually so we helped 15,000 beneficiaries, but in all, card is as a financial infrastructure. We actually have more than 200,000 people using this the service during the time. And through
Wow.
through all of them, we picked the most in need of 15,000 people. So overall, this the card the impact is much more than the 15,000 people we help.
Wow.
So thanks. And another example I would like to give is the Afghanistan cash assistance that we did with a school called Code Inspire. I think this also greatly demonstrate, in some extreme circumstances, when 2 years ago, when Taliban took over the country, at the time, the banking system is not, functioning at the usual, and it's hard for people, to send money inside the country, and also, the payments. And at that time, also girls are facing some difficult times. And we are luckily we get in touch with the Code to Inspire school, and we're able to help 100 students also with their families on the 3-month cash assistance program. So in this case, we're still using the Trust Wallet, and every student, they have mobile phones. They can receive a 200 BUSD from us. And for the off-ramp, here is a more organic way: is they go to some local exchanges. As in countries, there are always small vendors that they can convert the money for you. So these girls are able to convert the BUSD into the local Afghani or US dollar in cash. So we have successfully helped these 100 girls. Actually, one of them, so the Code to Inspire the school that teach girls to code, and also graphic designing, web development. Actually, one of the graduates is now working with us at Binance Charity. So she is now a graphic designer for us. If you go to our Twitter, you'll see some of the illustration is actually made by her. And now she's actually also receiving her salary in crypto, because it's hard to send money to her. So I would like to mention, maybe in the future, for people who are doing remote work, receiving salaries or payment in crypto is also a way that no matter where you are, you can receive your salary in crypto, and easy to convert it to the local currency. And especially for them, it's hard to have a bank account. That's why we can only do it in crypto. I think this is a very powerful story, which I'm also being very touched, because through all the programs, I see the direct impact to an individual, how our donation actually changed people's life. And now she's able to find a job, and also sustaining, because of our help, and because, most importantly, the technology. And I hope through us and through partners like Mercy Corps and CARE, all of the partners we're working together, we want to bring technologies to people in need, and really make a difference for them.
Elizabeth, that's a truly inspiring story. I wish we could continue talking about more of these all day, but unfortunately we're at time. So we have to get going with our next session, our final session. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. Last but certainly not least, we are going to be taking a look at the tech services that are bringing the charity sector into the Web3 world. Crypto transactions, for example, haven't always been the easiest for newcomers to onboard and understand. Nowadays, there's several services and solutions that are working to simplify them, as well as ensure lower transaction fees. So more of the money can go directly to the people who need it the most. This is just one example of what's possible. We're going to dive into this and much more with UNICEF Luxembourg's Innovation Finance Officer Yannick, alongside Ayaz from the
Hello.
UNDP, the global lead of digital finance and the SDGs. Let's welcome both Yannick and Ayaz to Binance Talks and allow them to introduce themselves. Yannick, why don't you kick us off? Welcome today.
Hi, my name is Yannick, and I'm working for the Luxembourg Committee for UNICEF, and I'm looking after innovative finance, which include blockchain and cryptocurrency.
And Ayaz?
Yes, hi everyone. Delighted to be here. My name is Ayaz. I work with UNDP Development Agency, and I've been in the fintech space for about 20 years now. And my main focus is actually designing innovative solutions around digital innovations and fintech in support of sustainable development. Excited to be here. Thanks.
Amazing. Thank you both so much for joining us today. My first question goes to both of you. I'll have Yannick start, and Ayaz, you can build on what he says. But what is it about the Web3 sector in the blockchain world that is attracting more and more charities to its solutions?
Well, I mean, there's two aspects. I would say there's the fundraising aspect, which is an important aspect, and the technology itself. In terms of fundraising, I mean, humanitarian organizations have been trusted by donors, not only by receiving money, but goods, could be object, could be properties, could be legacy, and the most important commodity that everybody has is their time. They have been volunteering for a non-profit organization. So it's our duty to make sure that we are able to receive those type of donation and use it for the better good. So it's very logical that many non-profit, many humanitarian organizations are looking to receive a digital currency as well, in order to have a bigger positive impact. And at the same time, the Web3 community have been in the last 3 to 5 years extremely generous. People have some kind of stereotype about people investing in cryptocurrency, but in practice, the level of generosity have been really, really tremendous, regardless of the movement of the cryptocurrency. So it's the willingness of non-profit and charity to accept new type of fundraising, as well as the incredible generosity of the community, was, I think, one of the main aspects why we have seen this move. And on the second part, on the technology itself, you have to keep in mind that now today's donor want to see exactly what is the impact of their donation, and blockchain technology could be a good tool in order to provide this transparency and to make the link between the donation in one hand and the impact on the ground. And it's not only for donor in digital currency, it's for any kind of donor. Today's donor want to see as much as in real time as possible what is the impact of their donation, and blockchain can help us to do that. Over.
Ayaz, do you have any comments on what is it about blockchain and Web3 that are bringing these traditional sectors into the Web3 space?
Yeah, so I'll take a slightly different angle because I don't work for a charity, but I work with a development agency, right? And so the angle is slightly different. But really what's interesting in blockchain technologies is that they actually are very helpful in addressing some of the existing market problems in relation to sustainable development. So if you look, for instance, at the case of SME finance, and we have 44 million SMEs in sub-Saharan Africa, for instance, that are really struggling to get access to financing because they don't have any collateral to show for. If you look at a small shopkeeper, for instance, could inventory or stock be used as a collateral against a loan? And would that information be trusted by the financial institution to provide a loan? And so in many ways, one could imagine a way in which blockchain can be used to digitalize that as a digital asset in a trusted, secure, reliable, tamper-proof manner to showcase that collateral to financial institutions to secure financing. And then you can expand that or extend that to a range of data points that SMEs would be able to actually demonstrate, from their utility bill payments to financial transactions across their supply chains to merchant payments made by mobile payments at the merchant location, to be able to demonstrate all of that, in fact, to financial institutions to be able to get a loan against that. So that's sort of one example. Another interesting example is in the green bond space, but I think Ken from Mercy Corp's Ventures actually has already spoken about it. Coupon sizes and ticket sizes are very, very high, in the range of a few $1,000s. If you think of, for instance, an electric wind turbine, can you use blockchain to fractionalize that asset in such a way that a retail investor like you and me could just invest a few dollars into a blade, not the entire turbine, for instance? And can that be helpful in opening up green bonds to the retail segment and to individual investors? So that's sort of another area. And maybe the last area that I am exploring at the moment and designing for is really in the conservation of nature. We know that indigenous people living in natural ecosystems are the most important guardians of nature for us. If you want to start compensating them for different types of ecosystem services that they provide in conserving and restoring nature, can you provide them with a digital wallet? And can you design a system where you can actually identify specific metrics against which they get compensated, and you can actually build that into smart contracts so that when those metrics are achieved, they get automated payments into the wallets as a form of livelihood and compensation for ecosystem services delivered to us. So all of these are areas that I am currently working in, and they are related to sustainable development. There's a few market problems, efficiency problems, transparency problems, and blockchain technologies are very, very helpful for that. And that's where I think there's a big role that blockchain solutions can actually play. Thanks. Over to you, Logan.
Those are some amazing examples. Yannick, do you have any real world examples that you would like to speak to?
Yes, I mean, I think the one of the example would be it's been talked about previously, but it's humanitarian cash assistance. So humanitarian cash assistance is one of the tools that humanitarian agencies are using. We are giving food, we are giving goods, we are supplying water and sanitation, but in specific setting. We know that families know better than us what they want to use the proceed to, and therefore it makes sense to provide cash assistance directly to the most vulnerable families. After saying that, I mean, to do it, it's a different matter. And using blockchain technology and using a digital currency is a good way, I think, to do it. First of all, most safer way. There has been example of cash assistance, which was physical cash that had to be moved from one location to another. And if we can use technology to send those payments directly to the account of the family, that's safer, that's quicker, that's much faster, and it's much more cost effective. We talked previously about the local banking system. It can be quite tricky to send 20,000 very small transfer to the most vulnerable family in one specific country using either the local banking system, which is more or less developed depending on country, or could be under stress because of war, or postal account. So being able to provide this type of humanitarian cash assistance via blockchain technology and via cryptocurrency, and most of the time via stablecoin, is I think the way forward. We have been seeing many pilot projects in Asia and in Africa over the year, but I would say last year we really saw a larger scale project in Ukraine. Elizabeth talked about it as well. The Binance charity did a wonderful job in Ukraine, providing relief to many families. UNHCR with the Stellar Foundation as well had a very interesting project in a refugee outside Ukraine. And I think it's not going to happen in one day. We need to include this into a process, and it can take time. On our side, we have to make sure that we provide this service to the most vulnerable, and that it's the safest and the most cost efficient as possible. But I think that's something that is in the next few years will be really front and center. Over.
That's amazing. So speaking about scaling these technologies, and we are running a little bit short on time, so we'll have to make this quick. What are the biggest hurdles left to overcome? What's needed to increase the number of nonprofits benefiting from Web3?
Maybe I'll jump in very quickly. So at my end, a few things. I guess first of all, there's a lot of education that's needed, right? So that everybody really understands the potential, everybody understands the opportunities, the risks, but also the upsides, and we can focus on the upside. I guess in addition to that, I would say there's probably a need for more use cases, demonstration cases, and proof points to be disseminated as well, so that we actually see actual implementations being successful and delivering very good social, economic, environmental outcomes to people and to the planet. And then I guess the last point is we need to focus on the positive aspects of blockchain and really support and rally around that community to be able to drive it forward. But we also need to really make sure that we protect people against scams, Ponzi schemes, and all sorts of bad things that are also happening in the industry. And I guess regulation is going to play a key role in both enabling, but also really making sure that we protect people and we weed out the bad guys and the bad projects, and we focus on the good things. And I guess with a combination of these three, we would be in a good shape. Yeah, I try to be quick. Thanks.
Thank you.
I can add one thing. It's true that regulation of the use of cryptocurrency for charity is very important, and right now it doesn't really exist. So there could be some clarity there. I think it will be helpful. Today, a nonprofit have two solutions: either to build up their own system in-house, which could be quite complicated and quite time-consuming, or to use a third-party provider. Today, third-party providers tend to be expensive in terms of the fee they charge to charity in order to be able to receive cryptocurrency. So making this a bit simpler, I think will be attractive for many nonprofit, and especially smaller nonprofit.
Thank you both so much for taking your time, sharing your insights with us today, and all the incredible work you're doing for people across the world. I appreciate both of you guys, and hope to talk to you again soon. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, that was the last segment, and now it is time for the giveaway. I hope you took good notes. I know that I did. And now those notes are going to come to use and help you get a share of $1,000 prize. So as a reminder, if you missed at the top of the episode, Binance tweeted out a tweet about the Binance Talks giveaway based on today's episode. You can find it by following this QR code here. And all you need to do to possibly win a share of the $1,000 is retweet the linked tweet here, and make sure you took good notes on today's stream and drop those in a comment underneath the tweet. That's really pretty simple. Just make sure you retweet it and drop your notes below the tweet there, and you'll be entered for the giveaway. That is only one of two giveaways today. It's now time for our crypto box giveaway with Binance Charity. There's $4,000 in crypto up for grabs. So to explain more about this, let's welcome Binance Charity's Education Program Manager, James, to the show. How are you, James?
Thank you very much, Logan. Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
All right.
So I'm James. Yeah. So
take it away.
Go ahead. So I'm James from Binance Charity. I hope you've all enjoyed learning about how blockchain and crypto is making a positive impact to communities around the world. These use cases are really key to mass adoption, so please make sure you share and talk about them everywhere. So we've got CryptoBox giveaway now to finish off. I hope you're all still with us. There's $4,000 up for grabs. I can sense you all on the edge of your seats. It's very exciting stuff. And in the spirit of crypto, we're going to be quick and efficient here because we're running over time. So yeah, I'm going to give you a really quick overview of Binance Charity and a recap of some of our projects. There will then be 5 questions that will come up. You need to be logged into your Binance account on Binance Live to participate. The prize can be split up to 100 people. And to qualify as a winner, you need to be fast and get all of the questions right as quick as possible. So we'll go through the slides now. And I'll give you, I think we just need to change our slides. Yeah. So I think we're having some slide problems here. So I'm gonna run straight into the questions because we would have been taking notes earlier. So what's the Binance? The first question that we've got, if you can remember from the Mercy Corp's presentation earlier, how much is Binance Charity donating to Mercy Corp's in the most recent project to advance innovation in blockchain? Is it A, $100,000, B, $1 million, C, $500,000, or D, $1,000? Okay, question number 2. How many individuals received the first of its kind Binance refugee card in Ukraine last year? If you remember, Liz mentioned earlier about that. So is it A, 34,000? Is it B, 135,000? Is it C, 200,000? Or is it D, 500,000? I can repeat that again. How many individuals received the first of its kind Binance refugee card in Ukraine last year? Is it A, 34,000, B, 135,000, C, 200,000, or D, 500,000? Question number 3. What are the advantages of crypto giving over traditional giving? Is it A, transparency, B, speed, C, cost efficiency, or D, all of the above? Make sure you're quick on these answers, guys. I don't want any of you to miss out. Question number 4. In which country did Binance Charity and Mercy Corps trial a blockchain-powered voucher system to support vulnerable people? You heard about that earlier as well. Was it A, Afghanistan, B, Scotland, C, Argentina, or D, Uganda? And the final question to round this off. What is the mission of Binance Charity? Is it dedicated to building a future where Web3 technology is used as a force for good? Is it B, doing good stuff? Is it C, crypto is the future? Or is it D, blockchain wherever, whenever? So I hope you got your answers in quickly, guys, and good luck to everyone who took part. You'll be notified after about who's won, and good luck to everyone. Thank you. I hand back to Logan.
All right. Thank you so much, James, and good luck to everyone out there participating. As a reminder, you had to be on Binance and logged into your account to partake in that quiz there and win the Crypto Box reward. But that wraps up today's Binance Talk, blockchain and charity for good. I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone who tuned in to today's third Binance Talk, as well as the amazing and incredible guest speakers that we had contributing their time to these noble causes and also to sharing the good word with all of us. We'll be back soon with our next Binance Talk, which will take place next month, Thursday, May 18th. Mark your calendars now. We'll be covering crypto payments and cards. Click the banner at the top of the screen to sign up if you're watching on Binance Live. Also, if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Drop a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about today's episode. And if you have any other questions about how blockchain is being used for good. Until next time, signing off. My name is Logan Ross, reporting here from Benzinga. We wish you all, on behalf of Benzinga and Binance, a fantastic end of the week, and have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much.